but in a Zoom meeting, and she'll be coming in as soon as she can. And the mayor's going to be here around 12:30, optimistically, and so that's great. Did everybody get a chance to read the minutes from the last board meeting? Yeah, okay. Can I have a motion that we approve them, please?
Second.
Good. All in favor? Yeah, good. They're approved. Such exciting news about the budget, and we thank all of you who had a part in this. It was just an amazing team effort, and we're gonna just thank the mayor, thank Berkeley, thank all the council people. It was a great day last week, and we're all happy about it. So let's have the budget. Oh, this is the operating budget, not the big budget, but we'll have a report on that one too.
So thank you, everyone, for being here today. And yes, we are extremely excited about the operating budget that was passed. It will allow the Greenways and Open Space Division to add 5 positions to the division so that we can advance our projects and keep up with all the development, hopefully, that's happening in Nashville. So we're looking forward to that. We'll keep you posted on how that goes. And then the department was also able to add 7 officers to a bike patrol that will patrol greenways and trails throughout the system. And we're also very happy about that. That kind of falls into the study that we'll be doing, the data collection and analysis of our greenway system. So that will be very helpful as we go through that process. So thank you, council members, and for all your support on that. So I know Berkeley's going to join us in a few minutes. I'm going to go ahead and get started. When the mayor gets here, we'll kind of pause wherever we are and let him speak. I know he has a few nice things he wants to say to everyone. But just moving through the agenda, the top of the list is the Gulch Greenway at Assurian, and fellas, I'm gonna have to drag this with me, possibly.
And we need the lights, please, off.
Yeah, so I did want to give you a heads up that we will. We will be opening the Gulch Greenway behind Assurian later in July. We're finishing that up now, and we don't have a date set yet. We're working on that. We want to make sure all the partners are able to come. As you know, that was a really successful partnership with Highwoods Properties, Assurian, the entire downtown area. It's just a really wonderful public-private partnership, and we want to make sure that we have a big celebration for that. So stay tuned for details on that in July. This is the only sneak peek I'm giving you of it, which is you've already seen before because it's the sign that has been down there. We're revamping, as part of that project, the trailhead under Church Street. And then, as you know, the Greenway now is routed between the rail lines and the Assurian building, and then continues on down to the Broadway Bridge. So we will in the future have a new trailhead underneath the Broadway Bridge. So we'll have a good anchor at both ends, but just wanted to give you a heads up about that. And I'm sorry, the pointer here is not working, but kind of the right half of this in the dark green is the portion that will be, I should say, opening and reopening, because we've got some new Greenway segment on that. So stay tuned. And I'm just going to run through a project update today. We don't have new business or anything that you need to vote on today, but I did want to take that opportunity to have the extra time to run through our current projects. So if you have questions, just stop me as we go along, and I'll answer them as we go. So very exciting, the Charlotte Corridor Railway Trail Greenway, which, as you all know, is a 4.5-mile stretch that follows the Cheatham County Rail Line in North Nashville. And we just completed 2 public input meetings that were held over at the Children's and Family and Children's Services Building on Clifton Avenue, and really great input at those meetings. We've also been having stakeholder meetings with lots of different groups in the community. And I will just run through, if for those of you who weren't able to be there, just a few scenes from that. So we had the entire run of the building on a Thursday night and a Saturday morning. And so we set up lots of photos of what our greenways are like. And if you look out at the end of that hall, this building actually sits on the rail line, and what you see there is where the trail will come through. And just a few shots of the public engagement. We had lots of maps out for people to look at the corridor and to give us input on what they'd like to see along the Greenway, what they thought would make it successful, a chance to see, where they live in relation to where the Greenway will be routed. And just thought you all might like to get a peek at some of that. We'll compile, of course, all the information that was gathered at those 2 meetings. We'll continue, and we'll share that with you. And we'll continue to reach out to stakeholder groups, and we're beginning this week to reach out more to property owners that are existing along the line, and a lot of that property is going under redevelopment. So we're talking with all of those developers about accommodating space for the Greenway. And this last shot is looking back towards Charlotte Avenue to the west. The Merle Haggard mural is there already, and it's kind of cool. And as you know, the trail will not replace the rail line. It's going to run alongside it. And those public input meetings are going to help inform which side of the rail the trail will go on. We anticipate that it will cross to different side at some point through the process. But anyway, any questions about the community meetings, about where we are on design? And it's master plan. Let me make sure that's clear. We're just master planning at this point. And then once we have the master plan in place, we'll move on to detailed design of either the whole corridor or phase, just depending on how that master plan turns out.
Cindy, the community engagement part of this process, does it have an ending point? What's the timing?
That's a really good question. So we will have, once we have a master plan in place, we'll go back to the public for another open forum. We're looking at doing a survey. We've gotten some different feedback. Some folks have told us they are very tired of answering surveys. But we do want to make sure that we do everything we can to reach out and get input. So we're looking at doing a short survey that can give us some, what we feel like is really an opportunity for people to give us very specific information about what they'd like to see. So the master plan will be finished up in the fall, Jeannie. So until then, there's a website on the Metro Parks page. There's a page on our website where you can get updated information. And of course, Greenways for Nashville is also sharing that information. So there's still opportunities to just write us or call us and give us input as we go along. But of course, at some point we'll be taking what we've gotten and moving forward with a routing plan. And alongside the master plan for the Greenway, we're also looking at policy, which we don't have a lot of policy that allows us to get easements and right-of-way at this point. Of course, Metro Parks never takes land. We don't use eminent domain. We work voluntarily with property owners and developers as new projects are happening. so that, that'll give us a little bit more opportunity. We want everyone to know that this is a planned greenway where the route is, so as new development comes in, it can front this space and accommodate the room that will be needed for a trail, so that we have a continuous link from both ends. Like I said, would start at Charlotte Avenue, follow along this corridor, and terminate at the farmer's market. And also have a connector into Frankie Pierce Park and the Gulch Greenway that's already in place. And we're also looking at the 16th Avenue corridor, because we've got Cossey Gardner Park, Fisk University, Watkins Park, and Edmondson Park along that avenue, and that makes sense that those would be connected in. And we've shared that with the public and looking at their feedback on that.
Any themes to these community meetings? I mean, it seems like it would all be positive, but I'm sure it's not ever, I've found it not always to be that way.
Yeah, well, at the risk of jinxing anything, it was amazingly positive. The stakeholder meetings have been very positive. I think some common questions are about property. Are we going to come and take property? And of course, the answer is no. But when new development happens, we are talking with those developers who will be in that corridor, because we think that they'll want to be attached to a greenway. Safety, that's always a question that comes up with new greenways. What kinds of things will be included alongside the greenway? We've heard, of course, more open space, parks that would be in addition to this linear park. Particularly telling the history of North Nashville and how that will be interpreted, because this is in such a unique place. And there is a really great opportunity here to share the history and the stories of North Nashville, and particularly any kind of significant properties that are really close to the trail, but that whole area. So we'll be looking at that for sure, and how we can do that, whether it's through art or signage or experiences and programming. We'll look at all of that. Yeah, so very interesting input, and happily very positive input so far. Any other questions on that one?
This is just not a question, but I sure hope that you're finding property owners and developers along there who are thinking about, restaurants and things along there to make it even more of a destination for people.
Yeah,
to come to.
and those are comments that we've received. Lots of interest. We met some people at the community meetings who were planning to move businesses in the area or looking at moving businesses there. We had some questions about affordable housing and how will that be accommodated. And Metro has a new division for housing, and they came and were there to answer questions. So that was very positive. And we'll be looking at all of those things. We know that parks can be economic drivers, and we certainly want this to be a positive for the neighborhood and for the residents there. All right. Next project is somewhat tied to the railroad trail. This is the Park Plaza to Centennial Park segment of the 440 Greenway, which is right outside our door, the trailhead that ends from phase 1. This would continue down to the 28th Avenue connector, right across from the main part of Centennial Park. That 28th Avenue connector has bike lanes and sidewalks that will get people just a few yards away from this rail corridor. So a really important segment. It's pretty short, but very important in the overall connectivity. And I'm sorry that this pointer's not working, but I think you all are familiar with where that is. And then a second segment of the 440 Greenway will connect Sevier Park to Gale Lane Park to Browns Creek Park. So all of those have Greenway trails. Sevier has walking trails. So this will be in some of it Metro right away, most of it in TDOT excess land, and link up all of those parks as another phase. And we're actively designing both of those now. And I don't know if you have questions about that. There will be public meetings there'll be public meetings for both. I think the segment outside our door here is, it's on parkland. It's not as impactful possibly to neighborhoods as other greenways that we do, but we'll announce a public meeting on the Sevier to Browns Creek Park when we get to that point. Right now, we're just evaluating, doing due diligence on existing conditions. And then the Cumberland River Greenway Opry Mills Connector. Right now, our very last easement is going to third reading at council, and this is a segment that, I'm gonna flip here, that will connect the Greenway Trail over to the mall. So, bear with me. The bottom left-hand photograph shows the Cumberland River pedestrian bridge, and that's where this trail will originate, and it will continue to the north. That dark heavy line that you see is the Greenway Trail, and it's just in a couple of different photographs, taking us over to the mall. So we are, very happy. We have easements from Ryman Hospitality. We have easements from TDOT, or a license agreement with TDOT, which is also going to council, and this easement from the Simon Corporation, who owns the mall and operates the mall. So we expect that to go out to bid this late summer, early fall. It's in Councilman Syracuse's district. Did you have questions, Councilman?
Not questions, but I wanted to give a little bit more context about how exciting that this is. This is part of a broader plan for Pennington Bend. I have updated the walk-bike plan. The Bend is an interesting area. It's a quasi-rural, suburban, and a regional tourist destination. And so making pedestrian connectivity work for all three areas is a unique challenge of sorts. Long story short is that the 140 acres that Ryman owns that they're developing, instead of sidewalk and stormwater infrastructure, they are doing kind of a quasi sidewalk / greenway that is a multi-use path system. That kind of sets a precedent. In order to get pedestrian connectivity the quickest, we have made that policy. And there's about 3 or 4 developments happening within the Bend, the 180 acres Glees Farm, that are very quickly going to be able to make a quasi multi-use path system throughout the Bend that is really exciting. And this, of course, is the main piece, if you will, that gives access to the folks that live in the Bend to be able to get to downtown and whatnot. You just need a small section from where it terminates here to the boat ramp that Ryman donated to us several years ago, and then everybody from the Bend will be able to get on the Greenway and get downtown. It's going to be super exciting. So thank you for all your work, Cindy.
Yeah, well, thank you, and thank you for reminding me. Sometimes I get so buried in the work that I forget to really highlight how important some of these segments are, and this is an extremely important segment connecting, East Nashville, all of this area to downtown, and via projects like the Railroad Trail all the way to West Nashville. As you all know, we're building the City Central Greenway, which is a loop system around the urban core. This ties into that. This will be one of those connectors. An amazing opportunity to get people around our city off the street, to provide more parks and areas where they aren't, and access to the Cumberland River in ways that no one has that now. And then tied in with the project that you're working on, yeah, the Bend is going to be an amazing place to go. So thank you. Kind of changing gears, still on the Cumberland River, but downtown, the Cumberland River Greenway at Wharf Park. You all know about the Wharf Park project that's happening just to the kind of southeast of Rolling Mill Hill. The greenway that's there now terminates at the top of Rolling Mill Hill, and with this park development and property acquisition that we're doing there, the greenway will be able to extend down to the river and will be set up to continue on along the Cumberland River in the direction of Shelby Bottoms and Browns Creek. This project will take it underneath the Solomon Evans Bridge there, and then we'll pick up with another project in the future to extend it. But the park is very exciting. The plans are, have been underway for that. There's funding to do the first phase. And Councilmember Allen, we have a spot for you, and you are fine to you can come this way. It's tricky. Watch your step. No, it's all right. Thank you for joining us. Councilmember Allen has been busy in another meeting on housing, so we appreciate you accommodating and being here today. So the Wharf Park project, the master planning for that is wrapping up, and we're looking at first phase design, which will include the Greenway. It also includes a segment or a parcel, I think I've got kind of highlighted here. What you see in red, there are two parcels there in red. The very rectangular piece is owned by MDHA. The other piece is the 88 Hermitage property that the city has just been okayed to acquire, and that has the historic School for the Blind. It's was an African-American school for the blind, residential, which is very unique. We're finding out to the country, honestly, and definitely to Tennessee. That will let us, again, extend that Greenway away from very busy Hermitage Avenue, so a true Greenway that will wrap around and go down to the bridge. And that side is terraced. I don't know if you've ever seen it, but it's very, like 3 terraces, essentially. And I'm very happy that the Greenway is part of that first phase design, and stay tuned on that one as we continue. Were there questions about the acquisition or park development, any of that? I think you all probably are pretty well informed on that. Oh, goodness. It's still being planned out, but we're looking at play areas, at river access, trails, in addition to the Greenway, conservation of open space. It's still being planned. And I think Mayor Cooper will probably speak a bit about this too when he comes in. Shifting away from Cumberland River Greenway, this is the Whites Creek Greenway, and I'm glad that Tom Palco is here today. Tom is with Metro Water Services, and we've had some really wonderful partnerships with Water Services over the years to build greenways and parks. If you're familiar, I know you all are, with the Richland Creek Greenway at England Park, Mill Creek Greenway at Whitsett Park are 2 projects that involved flood buyout property. It was voluntary buyout that Metro Water Services managed, and then partnered with us to turn that property over to be built as parks and greenway. So this, what you see in red, are available parcels. And Tom, if I've included anything I shouldn't have, you can correct me, but I think these are the parcels that have. Some of those are owned by Piedmont. We're working with Piedmont Gas for those to transfer over to Metro too. But the blue is Whites Creek. At the bottom of the page, let me go over one, is the Hartman Community Center. So I'll kind of toggle back and forth. You see the properties, and then here, very rough drawing in green, looks at possible trail connectivity. What you see circled in orange is just a bridge crossing over Whites Creek. So the community center is at the left, where we have a greenway that continues on down to Mullins Park. So this will go in the opposite direction and be developed along those flood buyout properties. Tom, do you want to, I don't know enough to dig into the weeds on how all this property, comes to Metro, but anything you want to add?
Yeah, so again, for those who don't know me, I'm Tom Palco, engineer, Metro Water Services. And so the funnest part of my job is using federal money, either through FEMA or through the Corps of Engineers, to buy floodplain properties and take them down because they flood over and over again. It's repair, insurance claims, repair, that vicious cycle. And so as of today, we've purchased 432 houses. We're buying a bunch right now in 7 Mile Creek. You know, we had the big rain event last March. And so on Paragon Mills, Elysian Fields, also off Evanston Pike, we've got a number of properties we're buying down there. We're also buying more properties on Wimpole Drive that'll eventually connect. Hopefully to get all them, all the way from the current property all the way to Thompson Lane, get all those properties as well. And so this project here, where we were successful in getting all but 4 of the houses along the river there, along Whites Creek, but we had 4 that held out. But Piedmont needed to put a new gas line along that same corridor, and so we suggested that they put the gas line up close to the road where the houses were, because we already had some sewer lines in the back. And so they did exactly that. They purchased the last 4 houses. Their gas line is now installed. The one piece that hadn't happened is that we provided them easements on the properties that we owned, and in return for that, they were going to give us those 4 properties. When we did the math as far as what the easements would cost, it was really truly a wash. And so the gas line's in, it's been installed, they're kind of closing out their project, and the last piece is for them to dedicate through those last 4 properties. And we think it's going to be as simple as a quit claim deed process, but we hope to get those soon. We love the greenways aspect of all this, because what we're required to do when we purchase these properties through the federal government is to maintain ownership as Metro and perpetual open space. So what we do now is we cut the grass by hiring Metro Parks employees to cut it on the weekends and after hours. So that's another relationship that we just truly love. But anytime we can, initiate a passive recreational opportunity, like you mentioned, England Park and Park Terrace, it's wonderful. So we're buying them as fast as we can, and we'll keep cutting the grass, keep paying for the grass to be cut until we have, a need such as this. So we're just glad to be able to do what we can do.
Yeah, and I can't say enough about Metro Water Services and how they've worked with us on Greenway development. One of the really wonderful things about these projects are that when the homes are removed, there are, on all 3 that we've worked on, Tom mentioned Park Terrace, which is Browns Creek Park. I forgot to mention that one. We're left with beautiful green space and mature trees, and it looks like a park before we even come in and add a trail. And we work with the neighbors, in these neighborhoods and to develop these projects, and they've been very well received. I'm not sure what's going on with our color here, so y'all, we're a little low tech. Bear with me. All right. That's not good. May have to wing it here in a minute, folks, because we got quite a few more projects. Any idea what might be happening there? Okay, well, we've lost connection here. Jake, you want to see if you can pull that back up? If not, thank you. I'm sure that wasn't anything that I did. So, sorry, I thought I had moved this up. I think we probably got everybody acclimated about that 88 Hermitage, but I do want to move on to another project that is in our stream. As you know, we've got quite a few public-private partnerships. Thank you. Yeah, it's good. Yeah, thank you. Lots of public-private partnerships happening for greenways. We mentioned Assurian. We've got several downtown. I'm going to run through those. This is the Harpeth River Greenway. So you see the Warner Parks, and I'm sorry that these are so washed out, but this is the Harpeth River. And we've got a bend here where several years ago, the Frist Foundation donated about 50 acres to Metro Parks. And at the tip of that property, so I'm zooming in, what you see here is the property that was donated by the Frist Foundation. This is state-owned property, as is this space where Metro has soccer fields, and those are run by leagues. The Harpeth River Greenway along Morton Mill Road, which is here, terminates right now at the CSX railroad track. What is happening here? Terminates here, and we've got this gap. We have a pedestrian bridge that links over to the soccer fields. Highway 70 is here. There is a park and ride, MTA park and ride facility. So we have long desired to finish this connection and then to connect the Greenway on up to Highway 70. So at the moment, there is a project, and there have been some community meetings by the developer who is looking at purchasing this property, doing some multifamily development, and then dedicating over a good bit of space here for parks and extending the Greenway underneath the railroad and over and connecting to the existing pedestrian bridge. And they're also looking at building themselves or undertaking the project of building a bridge, a vehicular bridge that would, of course, service their project, but also give us an opportunity to have a vehicular connection into the park. So right now, we're dealing with a barrier of the river, and we're dealing with the railroad track. So this could open up an opportunity for us to access this and develop that out. It's a preliminary plan. Like I said, the developers have been meeting with various Metro departments to talk about the feasibility of doing this, and they're meeting with the community to discuss it. So it's not a done deal, but it is something that seems to be moving along a bit, and we're really excited about that. Getting people over to Highway 70 and the community center that's there in Bellevue is a pretty cool opportunity. So stay tuned on that one. And in this particular case, I'll mention too that the developer is talking about at their own expense building the Greenway and building the bridge, and giving us, dedicating that space to Metro for parkland. So really great partnership if that moves forward. I'm kind of giving y'all whiplash because I'm back down at the Cumberland River now and just making sure you're awake. Here is Bicentennial Mall State Park. This is Jefferson Street and Jefferson Street Bridge. As you know, we have a greenway that comes behind the Sound Stadium and connects over to the existing greenway along First Avenue. So this potential project will be building out on either side of the greenway here. And I'll take you, I've turned you a little bit. The river is here. First Avenue is here. This is Jefferson Street. This is the existing greenway that comes from the Sound Stadium. And again, this is the existing greenway that runs kind of parallel to the Cumberland River. So multifamily development, and we're still talking, and they're still working on their plans, but it would propose to involve widening out the greenway, both sections, and adding more landscape and adding a maintenance component that would take that responsibility off of parks. Another situation where we're partnering, or we'll partner with Metro Water Services because they have a major water sewer line that runs where that greenway is now, and of course that will stay there, so we'll continue to work with them to be able to make this happen. But just wanted to let you know about that. That is in the works. Totally off the river now is a project that we're partnering with Habitat for Humanity on. They own property here where they intend to build affordable or habitat housing and do some improvements to the ball fields here at Parkwood. And then what you see over here in yellow is land that Metro owns, parkland, and we have funding now to develop that park. So Habitat will be donating land to us and building a trailhead and Greenway connection on this part of the property, and then we will continue on as the Parks Department and build out a greenway through this space. So another really good partnership, and that one is, we're in design now. This portion will happen first, and then the Parks Department will move on to develop this segment, and we're looking at trying to make a tie-in to this neighborhood here so that we'll begin to have a good bit of connectivity. Browns Creek Greenway at Fair Park, Phase 2. As you know, we've got about 1/3 of a mile built here with a dog park and soccer fields. And this design will continue the Greenway on over to Nolensville Road. So again, Metro Water Services is involved in this one a bit in permitting and making sure that we're treating this riparian zone the way that it needs to be handled. And I don't know if you all have been out to soccer games, but what I hear, most people are getting to that park, not in a car. So I think the Greenway will help with getting people where they need to go over there and preserving and conserving this riparian zone and working on the creek there that needs a little love. Another project that you may all have noticed, depending on how you move about the city, this is, I'm going to zoom in a little. Well, I guess I'm not. This is the site of the Peabody Union commercial multi-use development. And this is the Wharf Park site, KVB Bridge, which is kind of just off the page. And, sorry, it's so hard to see. I know it is for y'all too. The trolley barn. So we're looking at a project that's happening here kind of in the corner. And we have an existing greenway, as you know, that comes from underneath the KVB Bridge and goes up to Rolling Mill Hill. This is property that was previously owned by MDHA, and they built the greenway, knowing that eventually this property, I think the intent was for it to be developed, and it has been sold and is being developed. And this developer has agreed to give Metro a permanent easement for the greenway. It will be rebuilt, so this area right now is closed. You can't go on this segment of greenway because it's a construction site. We do have people routed from the trolley barns, which are here, just down Peabody Street and over to 2nd Avenue to get everyone through. But this segment of greenway will be put into a permanent easement. The developer is also making this pedestrian space available. It's not a greenway, but it will be publicly accessible. They'll have some ability there to program it on their own, and it's their property, but they have agreed to make it accessible for pedestrians. If the greenway has to be closed for maintenance, that's the only reason this greenway would be closed, by the way. That's part of the easement. The purpose of putting it into an easement is so that it is open 24/7, not 24/7, but 365 days a year and normal operating hours. So they are building it, they've designed it and building it, and will maintain it for Metro. So there's no cost to Metro, and we get a permanent open greenway. So we're very happy about that. So you see the trend. We have so much development happening in Nashville, and so every opportunity that we get, we are talking with the developers who are building alongside a place where either a greenway is planned or where one already exists, and we want to make sure that it's addressed properly and enhanced. So again, highlights so much the need for the additional staff that our budget has passed. There's no way, the limited staff, I feel like we're just always hustling as much as we can to stay on top of the new development, but it is overwhelming. And so those new staff will help with that, not only just keeping up with what's happening, but being very strategic and long-range planning on properties that need to be acquired, right-of-way that needs to be acquired for greenways, and then working with developers to make sure that the outcome for the public is that the green space is conserved, that it's enhanced, that it's expanded, and that, they'll benefit from it. We want them to have, a little bit in the game, and we have a little bit in the game. And Assurian, Frankie Pierce Park, many examples already of these partnerships that we're just trying to continue. Maybe the last Greenways project, I'll touch a little bit on open space. I think I've mentioned this maybe at our previous meeting, but this is 10 acres off of Tusculum Road in Councilwoman Sepulveda's district, where there is physically in her district no park. And so there's parks close by, but not actually in her district. So Tusculum Road is here, and this is actually three parcels that we purchased recently. It's been family-owned property, so beautiful, mature trees. It too is terraced a little bit, this lower area, just lovely. And then you kind of climb an elevation a bit and an upper level. And you can see it's got tie-ins to surrounding neighborhoods in three parts. So this area, this street, and then down here. We do have in the capital budget design money for this park. It's a little over 10 acres, and we've closed on it. We own it, and planning is underway. So we're very happy about that. Just a few shots of what that park space looks like. And Laughlin Springs is, this is in a 4-acre addition to existing Laughlin Springs Park. It's been a very active grassroots project. The Trust for Public Land is coming to the table, doing some fundraising, so partnership with them to add 4 acres to that space. And either I have offline again, or I think that was where I terminated this. But anyway, I wanted to let you know about those two acquisitions, one that's finished and one that's happening in the city. So, questions? I've talked a lot. Y'all haven't talked much, so any questions at all? All right. Well, we will move on. I think, Amy, if you want to give us a report from GFN, who I hope Amy talks about all the effort that her organization has been undergoing, but I'll sing her praises for a minute here. Greenways for Nashville is amazing, an amazing partner to the Parks Department in many, many ways, in fundraising, in communication. We have a huge department and not a huge communication staff, and they're wonderful, but they're working for the whole department, and so GFN has stepped in lots of great ways to help with that. And I'm going to just turn it over to Amy, but in working with council members and promoting and advocating for the parks budget, for the Parks Department to be fully funded, their efforts, I think, I know our council members know how hard they worked to get that message across. And so we are extremely thankful.
Thank you. I want to recognize our board president, Pete Wooten, who is joining us today, and probably just share a couple of the projects that we're working on that complement and in addition to everything, the heavy lifting that we are, the Friends Group, the foundation, have been in existence for about the same time frame. We're formed by the visionaries for the Greenways and Open Space Division. So just want to first off share that we have focused on getting the community engagement, and that is our role, was our role from the onset. And the community engagement is gathering all the voices, all the opinions on any topic that relates to Greenways. So the rails with Greenways, the community meetings were something that we felt very vitally connected to and involved in pushing that information out into the community and participating in those 2 community meetings and making sure that experience was reflective of what is a potential asset to the North Nashville Rail with Greenway project. So yeah, really excited, but looking forward to hearing more and hearing the reports back on what the visitors, but we were there, many of us, and firsthand it was positive. Yes, there were folks who had questions that were challenging, but the overall feel was that excitement and quotes in the press, just, Greenways are our front porch, and that community wanting more of that sense of place. So we feel that that's really important. Going to the next step, again, reiterating a little bit, but those 39 positions that were added to the operating budget for the Parks Department were vital. And so we did deploy a lot of messaging and encouraged the general public to let the council know. Certainly we did prep or earlier conversations with the mayor and letting him know how vital we knew that operating support for the Parks Department, for maintenance, for programming, for the planners. That was largely, or I'm going to say entirely successful because the community agrees. And I know from several council people that I got, texts and emails back that, wow, and Greenways are loved. They're loved because we all love being out on them. And when the community was asked to rally and endorse that budgeting, there were a lot of other needs in the city. And hopefully they were met largely by a more abundant budget. But Greenways and the Parks Department needed to get their share. We have to keep up with the building that's going on in town. Is it $5 billion in building permits? $5.5 billion in building permits. He's a banker. So look, that, are happening in our county, and that just, the increased staffing that will be in the Greenways division, we celebrate with you. We are so excited, and we have a staff that's ready at the mark to continue to work hard. We have increased our staff as well, have a staff of 4 full-time folks now, and are really excited to be part of the team. So, it is a moment in time, and we are going to meet the moment. I also want to let you know we've got a project that you may see little traces of. Hopefully it'll be in the next couple of weeks. We did an assessment of all 75 plus or minus trailheads. Some of them are nearly 25, maybe even 30, getting close to 30 years old. Pretty bad shape or outdated information. We've got about 75,000 committed to 10 trailheads. So you'll see Stones River Greenways will have an entirely new face, same structures. They're all being rehabbed, painted, stripped back. And then the new maps, the more contemporary, easier to read, and more updated maps will be applied. So that'll happen. And then Whites Creek Greenway. We've got 3 going in there. So that's exciting. It is very time-consuming, and it is a slow process because of the detail involved. We intend, I think with our board's vision to continue, we did look at all 75 trailheads, and I'd say about half of them are in pretty rough shape. So this is a one-time capital capital improvement project, but it basically is bringing deferred maintenance up to current. They are park signs, but we are excited to really help showcase what the system is today versus what it was 20 years ago. Let me share, we've got planned, well, the other thing I want to announce, I know you feel like you've seen it, but there are various versions. This is the latest version of the Greenway Map. So it has got all the current trails on it, thanks to Vanderbilt, who generously underwrote this for us. They have underwritten it for the last couple of versions. We have about 30,000 of these. We've started rolling them out. They're out in all the community centers and community centers, nature centers, parks facilities, libraries, public libraries. If any of y'all need a stack, we are happy to send you packing. They are free. They are national park style maps. And a lot of folks do truly love a good old paper map. So that is an important tool in helping the community realize you've almost got 100 miles of this park asset to go explore. And COVID certainly got folks into other parts of the city, but we want to continue that because that is only going to enable this program to, become more accepted and more embraced by more people. Access is the name of the game. And access in Minnie's vision is a 10-minute walk. If you can have a 10-minute walk, 20-minute walk to get to some sort of park space or green space, greenway, that's access. And our city needs to continue to grow that access and improve it. We have upcoming, probably almost as well known as the words Greenways for Nashville, is Dinner by the Bridge. Dinner by the Bridge is in its 16th year, and we're just not going to talk about the last 2 years because we all know we weren't able to gather. We are gathering this year. This is an opportunity for the private sector, for companies, for individuals to come together and show their support and celebrate the Greenways program in Nashville. Every dime that we raise is deployed back into the system. And I say that because we serve entirely to support the parks and greenways. So our staff works towards that. These improvement projects that we do work towards are all supporting the Parks Department. So that is October 6th, and we certainly hope you all will mark your personal calendars. It's a Thursday night is tradition. It is an open air on the Cumberland River Esplanade Greenway in Cumberland Park, and certainly hope you all can be there. And certainly let me know. At this point, we are simply securing our sponsorships. So those are the corporate gifts. And again, it's been very well supported in the past without 2 events. So we are hoping it will continue to be supportive, and we have our presenting sponsors are already secured. The Danner Foundation, a local foundation, philanthropic foundation, and Amazon have stepped up as 2 presenting sponsors. We can find room for a 3rd, but we really are thrilled to have that and want to see you and be able to gather and again, raise money and show support for this incredible program. I feel like I need to stop talking because somebody who maybe...
Thank you, Amy.
Thank you, and I think I've hit nails on the head, but please let me know if I can send you packing with anything. And does anyone have questions for Greenways for Nashville? Okay.
Thank you so much. So our special guest, and we're very happy to welcome Mayor Cooper to our meeting today. And Mayor, we'll let you have the podium and
Thank you all.
perfect timing.
I'm used to the basement and the other building, I have to say. So when did you all move over?
With COVID, we did.
Oh, with COVID, sorry.
Yeah,
Sorry,
no, we
COVID.
had to.
I've been,
We had to because now we're spaced and plastic and.
oh, right, okay, that was far too interior. Well, thank you. I should have been here sooner, but with COVID and everything, it's great to see all of you, and particularly Tyler and Cruz and everybody. I do want to thank Jeff and Berkeley for this budget, and I want to spend a little bit of time on the exciting future for all of us. And then this is a little bit of a follow-up that I had with Pete and Amy and people a couple of months ago. And the people who are not here, thank you. I mean, Jeannie's always been an inspiration to this city on greenways, and I want to thank everybody for their service. And Cindy and Amy, I mean, wow. But part of being here is, I think, getting us ready for our exciting future. That has to include an incredible effort by Parks and Greenways to be the city that we can be. And I'm grateful to the council to getting that started, to finally get Greenway's staff increased. And I apologize for not being here in the beginning part of the meeting, but beginning to be increased. There's a very clever, and I think Pete, I know, has worked on it, very clever kind of report. This says draft, but maybe it's gone final, to kind of convey the scope of Greenway's activity in Nashville. And I think it can be, we all need to, it's a work in progress to have an improved document. I mean, really, there is really $49 million just for greenways that has been appropriated in the last 2 years. I think there's a backlog of maybe close to, would you agree, Cint, about $60 million that's on this report.
Yes.
Why do we need to go from 3 to 8 positions? Because we've got a backlog and we have to build an apparatus that's going to be able to be effective to deliver our Greenways vision. And then if you go back to our charter, your charter on this, Ordinance 91-13-2, duties and responsibilities, in that list is to develop long-range comprehensive Greenway plan for the county, which will link existing parks where feasible. Okay, all right, that's gonna be a big job. Another thing is to identify funding sources for greenways and means of encouraging donation of land and easements for greenways. Also very important is making the community part of this work and using the moment of building so much stuff in Nashville actually to leave us with an improved environment on the other end. And then, of course, to oversee the management and operation of the Conservation Assistance Grant Fund. All of this, these 11 things of the duties and responsibilities of this group, I think is super timely, but the trick is to get you the tools to begin to do the job. And yes, it's money, but it's also people, time, and to make that consistent. And I just want to thank everybody's hard work for getting us to this point in doing this. And now parks, we've got a lot of parks, but we have a great also parks response with Jeff and Berkeley's amazing help. 40 new positions to help maintain parks correctly for the first time, and to recognize that our 178 parks and 15,000 acres is a lot to look after. And not only to look after them, but to grow them. And then, but we're also growing parks separate from greenways. The addition of Wharf Park, I think, to be a trailhead for a new Riverline urban park is going to be incredible. The new park node going in right across from the permanent supportive housing facility is going to be incredible. But really, part of my being here is this group using its resources with the community, with the new personnel hires, with major parks additions, so that parks capital planning has additional people too, as well as maintenance, is to get us ready for the next sort of phase. And one of those phases is going to be the Oracle Bridge. So they're going to build this incredible bridge, this footbridge, but that bridge needs to connect stuff so that that's a bridge between two robust systems of greenways reaching out into the whole community. Now, it's going to be a couple of years before it's built, but the time to start planning from Centennial to get to the river and then across the river, but then how do we connect most neighborhoods to greenways at the end of this comprehensive plan? And it's going to go beyond just these 8 people, I think. And it's going to go to an era of the foundation really collaborating so well in this big visionary effort, because it is a system where it's larger than any of the individual parts. This is the great thing about this vision going forward, is it's actually, the system is the value, the ability to connect to the system and to take you to places. Now, in time, I do hope that as the council and the community works through East Bank plans, that there's a major greenways connectivity and park also on the East Bank with the master plan that'll be hopefully proposed at some period of time. Everybody's working hard on it, and it's getting ready to be able to have the community and council participation in this plan. But that park vision is also, you're going to get to it by greenways. Is it a park? Is it a green? It'll be also an incredible long-term asset of Nashville. So for this board and for the city, I guess I'm just here to say, boy, it's exciting days ahead, and we've really better get ready for it. To hire the right people, to extend the staff, to be able to deliver on the financial commitment, but also the community commitment of how, what is our big plan? What is our big plan? How many communities can we get to? When can we get to them? We're going to have several ways of getting across the river, we think, so that there's east-west connectivity, but how many communities can we serve in time with greenways? And again, how do we use the development process, the development momentum in the city to help get this done more easily in the future? But the part of this is this, in this most recent budget passed by the council, I think, is it's a problem-solving budget. You can't do the vision unless you're maintaining what we have, right? So, all right, we're making investments in maintaining what we have. And then let's have a discussion about how to maintain it better and what do we need to maintain it better. But if you're saying, oh, we can't maintain what we have, then it is, of course, very challenging on the community to say, why are you creating more connectivity? Where are you going further? But it's part of, again, Berkeley's budget, I think, is addressing that fundamental problem, right? That we are doing the remedial stuff this year, but that we're doing it because we're creating a better environment going forward. And the staffing plan, again, I think you all have probably seen it, the additional hire. I'm sure getting an update on how quickly we can get additional people. And the Metro Legal Department interface, which I think is an important extender to the Greenways personnel going forward. But then I've asked Pete and everybody, I think it is important to have a kind of an accounting for the community. What did we get done this year? What's the vision? 1 year at a time. How many miles are under construction? When did we think that we can get this going? And the new, it's again, not just the East Bank gives an opportunity for a great park, a cultural and educational space. It's not just a specific facility. It also has a multimodal transit potential for us. The council is beginning to be briefed on that multimodal transit spine and then connectivity also, I think, in a multimodal way, including the Greenways vision, actually begins to add tons more communities that can be connected and brought into the system. But so I'm here just to kind of say a lot of master plan needs. in the months ahead as we begin to kind of formulate a plan that I think is transformative capacity. I mean, growth is super hard, right? And not always that well received or necessarily an improvement, but it can be. It can be. You can take the moment to create greenways and connectivity and how you get around Nashville and how you flow traffic. You can add capacity addition, but you have to have the will to do that. And again, my thanks. I was grateful and honored to have been a member of this group in the past. The basement was cuter than in here, but the Parks Board members probably feel like they spend too much time here anyway. But to just say it was a big step for a long time. The council was not able to find the additional money to either maintain parks or to add to Greenway's capacity building. But I think we're in that moment now to change that. And so the challenge going forward, just what I said, is let's come up with a plan that includes all of us, that gets this out, so that almost everybody in Nashville will say to people, what do you like living in Nashville? Most about, well, I got a greenway right over here. And I can get out, I can connect with people, I can be part of the community, and it's beautiful. And our parks are incredible, and they're mowed every couple of weeks, kind of thing. But the parks capital planning is important too, and I do think the Riverline and Wharf Park, these are fantastic, and I hope that Negley that's completing the master plan process in partnership with the community these last months, that I hope the Parks Board in the end has a very specific vision relatively soon to commit to too. I mean, each park is a legacy for the community. But anyway, and then finally, I'm here to thank you all. You all show up for meetings and do the hard work of the city, and every now and then a mayor should show up and thank the people who are actually getting it done. But again, if I can, the genius, I think, of the Greenways Foundation, or the Greenways establishment that I was noticing, is having enough council people on it. That actually when you get to council, the council can say, oh ho, this is not quite, this is not as easy a target as it should be, because in fact there are a lot of unheard voices that are being served by investments in this area, and to have the council participation in understanding that, I think, is just very important. So with that, Madam Chair, thank you.
Thank
very much for
you,
coming.
and we're here to thank you, because your leadership, your budget, your understanding what the needs of Nashville are, that's just unbelievable.
Well, thank you. And again, if anything for this group, I think the moment of the Oracle Bridge, which they are building for us, going to the city, the moment of the Oracle Bridge allows this connector and then over to the transit spine, then it's up to this group to begin to push that out into all these neighborhoods, because you're getting the connective tissue in place that it actually is not only fun, but useful in our future as people, I think particularly younger people, want commuting options, want the ability to bike to work, walk to work, be nearby, do shopping. And the Beltline in Atlanta, I think, is a big learning experience. We've got more opportunity than the Beltline, because, yes, that's a fantastic circle, but that's a circle. In our case, you've got capillaries and reaching out into all the communities, and the river itself begins to make it easy to serve more and more communities in doing it. But could we tackle all that vision, Cindy, unless you had more people? I don't think so.
No.
Okay.
And
Okay.
before you got here, we were running through the many lists of projects that are happening, both through capital funding and also the partnerships that you've spoken of, that we need to continue to develop, to build out the city central greenway and that loop system and connectors out into the neighborhood, and also our river-based. So we have projects happening on all of those corridors, and with all the development that's happening and developing those partnerships, without the staff that this budget has allowed us to add, we would be struggling to do that. So.
Well, you would be. You couldn't do it. But, so again, I'm excited to give tools. We already have some funding, so there's a backlog. I mean, it's going to be hard to work through the backlog. But again, I think it's important to the community to say it's not at the expense of maintaining our current park system, because with Jeff and Berkeley's budget, we are able to say, no, we're making a major move to improve that. Now, security is going to be a longstanding concern, of course, as we work our way through several issues, but again, that's being addressed too. So thank you, Madam Chair,
Thank you.
everybody.
Thank you,
Tom,
Dr.
Jeff, Cruz, Jeannie, thank
I'm
you
gonna
for
stand
being
up.
here. All right, so you're going to go on and,
Thank
have you all had
very,
lunch?
very much.
No? All right. Did I miss the lunch? Okay.
Thank you so much, Mayor. We do.
We have the best mayor, and I just hope everybody appreciates him and appreciates his council people who really knocked it out of the park, you all. I'm sure many people watched the budget hearings. It was, sometimes it was scary. And you had a great way of answering, even ridiculous suggestions. You just smiled and diplomatic and.
Councilmember Allen did a great job. I was amazed at how quickly and efficiently you all moved through that very long process, and it didn't feel as long as it could have, so thank you for that. A couple other just very quick items. Tom, I don't know if you had anything else from Metro Water Services update, but we would love to hear anything that you might want to let us know about that's going on.
I do. I have one more thing that only people like us would be excited about, is that we have a company who wants to install a trash trap in one of our creeks. And so obviously the solution to pollution is don't throw stuff on the ground, but we know that that's unreasonable. So we've worked with them, and we have a piece of property on Paragon Mills where we had some buyouts, and this is below what used to be Harding Mall, below the Walmart. And we're moving forward where they're going to put this device. It's basically a floating trash trap that's actually in the stream, and it'll collect all the plastic and floatables, and we're going to have through the Cumberland River Compact, they're going to keep it cleaned out. And what we hope is that this will show us how this can be used in other areas of town, so that when we do have these floods, the disaster of all the stuff hanging in trees and everywhere else, that we can somehow get a handle on that, and maybe through education, get to the source of the issue to begin with. But that's something we'll keep you posted on, but we're very excited about. And if you want to Google it, it's called a Bandalong Bandit. Bandalong is the name of the company, and it's called a Bandit, and they've got pictures from all over the world where they've done this to, again, get at the problem we have. So that's something we're excited about, and I'll keep you posted on how we move forward.
Where is that going to be?
It's on 7 Mile Creek on Paragon Mills.
Okay.
Just downstream of, again, I always say Harding Mall because I've been here a long time, but below the Walmart and above Legion Fields.
That's exciting.
So.
Yeah, we need that. We do community cleanups, but something like that is
So I'll keep you posted.
very helpful. Thank you.
Good.
Unless you all have anything else, which we're happy to hear. Cruz, anything from Park Board that you need to share? I'm putting you on the spot, sorry. Okay.
We are really excited about the budget as well. We were right alongside that. And I haven't previously sent notes to council people, but we all did. And it's about time that everything's fully funded, and really looking forward to the future, as the mayor said. So we've got the best advocate right there.
Yeah.
Shouting, so that's good.
It is a good day for the
Not to mention these folks and
department.
everybody else. So yeah, it was a very happy day.
Thank you. Well, we may actually finish a couple minutes early, which is new for us, so.
Cindy, could I ask one thing, just in follow-up to what the mayor said? If maybe at our next meeting, you could, somehow take the whole map. I mean, obviously, we've got the Vanderbilt map that shows us dreams and things, but so we go back to the overall of what we've got around the county and where we think we might be going, or what sort of plans we have, or
Sure.
take us to a big picture, is what I'm saying.
We can do that.
And include in that, what he was talking about, the East Nashville, the web going out from there.
Which is our City Central Greenway master plan, and I could certainly bring those graphics. I could probably pull it up here now, but I'm not going to mess with the technology. And, part of these 5 positions will be, we're looking at 2, very experienced planners who can do strategic planning and mapping, and, we don't have that capability right now. We use consultants for just graphics and those kinds of things that take a lot of time, and they're great to have. It's, but we need the people to do that. But not just the pretty pictures. I mean, they do tell a story, but to really be in and very seriously and strategically looking at every Greenway corridor that we have planned, as we do have all of that master plan. There are still opportunities for new corridors. I mean, pinning it in, and what you're doing to really partner in with that. The same with new bike lanes and sidewalks that happen, and trying to get, utilize those to make those connections. Greenways aren't going to be everywhere by the nature of what they are. They're, we're trying to get away from the streets, but we need that bike and ped connectivity also. That's part of what these staff positions will do.
Right. Well, I know the city center Greenway. I was thinking of on the other side of the river, that the Oracle Bridge will connect.
Sure, and that's part of the City Central. Those are the connectors, and I can bring that graphic to the next meeting and show you what we're looking at.
Good, thank you.
And Cindy and Pete and Amy, I want to aim this particularly at you all. I don't think that this mayor would have proposed and the council would have adopted this kind of investment without confidence in Greenways for Nashville and confidence in Cindy and the Parks Department and her whole team. So I think we need to raise our fists or something. So this is a great day.
Thank you all. Y'all know how passionate I am about it, and Pete.
Yes, Cindy, thank you. I just wanted to really extend a personal thank you, really, from GFN to Berkeley and to Jeff for leadership on the council to help get this budget passed. I was able to thank the mayor, but I want to thank you all because we've seen such explosive growth in the city, and this is just a vital asset for Nashvilleians, for us on the ground. And so it gives me a lot of hope and excitement about what lies ahead for us. A lot more work for sure, but thank you. Thank you for that support.
Yeah, thank you so much. We have a lot to do. It's very exciting, and we've got a great team supporting us, and both here and the park board. I think we're poised to do really, really amazing things.
Great. Meeting adjourned. Good. Thank you all.
Thank you.
This has been a service of the Metro Nashville Network. If you would like to see this presentation again, or for more information on this and other programs, visit nashville.gov.